And I looked in the mirror and somebody said, wake up, it's time for you to lose the blues. This is the very special thing. Tell it to everyone you meet. That life is all for living and love is all for giving. So this is the very special day. Tell it to everyone along the way that this is a very special day.
And a very special day it is. It is up finally. Fantastic. Maybe just a little Freaky Friday, but also it is Holly Thompson from Salem Crossing. Good morning, Holly.
Good morning.
And cue our guest this morning. We have GREG GALIETTE from the Louisville Bats. We're going to be talking with him. Holly, real quick. Good morning, GREG.
Good morning.
Good morning. And we're going to read our sponsors real quick, okay?
We'd like to thank Meadowview Healthcare, Walmart, Salem Crossing, Americans for Prosperity, Mama Roses, Fox Lee Wealth Management, Dr. Black's Eye Associates, Dr. Mindy Gunn, Marshall Monuments, McAllister Land Consulting, First Harrison Bank, Louisville Bats, Schneck Hospital, and Springs Valley Bank and Trust. Thank you so much to our sponsors.
All right. Speaking of sponsors, we do have our own president of the Louisville Bats, GREG GALIETTE, with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy Friday, right?
Yes, thank you for having me, and happy Easter weekend, everybody.
Absolutely. Good Friday for sure. And, you know, this is beautiful. The sunshine and definitely makes you start thinking of spring, and spring brings us right into baseball, right?
That's correct. And we're currently on the back end of drying out here in Louisville, especially in downtown Louisville. We obviously been battling with the horrible torrential rains we've been involved with for the last week to 10 days. So it's good to see the sun coming out and starting to dry out downtown Louisville.
Yeah, you've really been battling it. And I know that, you know, we talk about that before, GREG. You know, downtown, you know, is so popping and so much to do and so populated, so many people and so much fun things going on. And then we have all this flooding that's been kind of a little bit of a degree of difficulty. And so I'm so glad to hear that it's kind of getting back down, you know, and hopefully we'll get a little dried out there.
Exactly. And really what we want to do is the Louisville Bats have basically become hopefully a primary reason why people come to downtown to enjoy either a day or an evening of baseball with their families, with their friends. And we always like to say it's a great place to create memories with all your friends and family. And the team's currently on the road, but we'll be back home starting this next Tuesday, and we'll be back home through the entire week and weekend next week. And we got a couple of fun promotions. Next Thursday night is our second dog night of the year, where you can bring your dog to the ballpark. So that's always a fun night. Next Friday night is our pickleball appreciation night, and we actually have a pickleball ticket package where fans can purchase a special ticket, which will get them a regulation Louisville Bats branded pickleball paddle. And that's going to be a fun night. And then Saturday night's always one of our most popular nights we do each and every season, and that's Star Wars night, is our tribute to Star Wars. And we'll have costume characters there for fans to meet and greet and have photos taken with, along with our tremendous fireworks show after the game next Saturday night. And, of course, keep this in mind, especially for all the grandparents and moms and dads out there. Every Sunday at Louisville Slugger Field is our Kids' Day. So we provide free kids' meal, opportunity for kids to play in our inflatable play area. And then after each and every Sunday game, we invite the kids to come down the field, weather permitting, and take a lap around the bases. So Sundays are always a great family time at Louisville Slugger Field.
I love that. And you're making it family friendly and also affordable. You know, this time of year, I mean, this time of economy, how wonderful, you know, whenever you want to do, and, you know, and everybody's looking for family vacations or little getaways or weekends, or, you know, we're staying more home and we're looking for things to do more around the home. And here, this is a great opportunity and very affordable for families.
Well, that's true. We really focus on that. And if you haven't been to Slugger Field, especially since the renovations that we did back right during and after the pandemic, we've actually doubled the size of our kids' playground in right field. We've created a second grass berm. It's actually tiered in the right field corner. And we've created a great group catering area. If you have a business, a church group, a little league, we have a tremendous group area in right field. It's a 4-tiered patio area called the Humana Cabana. And it's a great place for folks to gather and have a great meal. And you can actually watch the ball game from right out there behind the right field fence in a tiered patio setting. So I think we've got everything that anybody could ever want to enjoy a sporting event. And of course, if you're an adult who likes an adult beverage every once in a while, we have some tremendous bars built in throughout the entire ballpark. We have actually 5 of them featuring different kinds of cocktails, wines, beers. So we've got a little bit of everything for everyone. And again, it's real simple. If you'd like more information on how to get tickets, whether it's for individuals or for a group, or if you'd like to buy maybe one of our mini packages, which are as small as 5 games, and shop at our team store, just go to batsbaseball.com. Once again, that's batsbaseball.com. That's for everything Louisville Bats. Our game schedule's on there. You can actually listen to our broadcast on there. So it has everything a person would want to enjoy Bats baseball.
Well, you had me at Cabana. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Greg, that's you made it in life if you're watching a baseball game and you're a Cabana. Okay. Come on. Is that not USA American all the way, right?
Exactly. And then we've got an exciting real estate project that will probably getting started at our ballpark probably after our season is over this year. Our ownership group, Diamond Baseball Holdings, is looking to invest over $300 million in a sports and entertainment development project, which will basically take our entire parking lot on the right field or right side of the ballpark. But folks are hearing parking lots disappearing. No, don't panic. We're actually, the first thing we're going to construct is 2 large parking garages, which are actually going to provide more parking than we currently have in that surface lot. But then we're also going to be creating condominiums, apartments, a boutique motel, restaurants, retail stores. It's going to be an exciting chapter in downtown Louisville, and actually is being created to basically create a bridge between the new Lou Market District up on Market Street and the waterfront. So we'll basically become that bridge to tie those 2 popular areas together. And again, Louisville Slugger Field, like it was back in 2000 when it first opened, I think will become the focal point of downtown Louisville once again.
Well, I agree. And, they've really built that up. I told you I went on a bike ride all around and it was so nice, and they've worked hard and from the merchants to all of the stores, to the restaurants, to the hotel. And that's exciting. And what a beautiful area there. And it's fun to walk the area. It's fun to go bike riding. I did bike riding. And it's fun to just hang out there. It's really a great location, and I think it's going to be a great attraction too for people that come to Louisville looking for things to do and wanting things to do. And of course, going to a Bats game, going to the Louisville Slugger Museum, and right in all of that downtown right there is there's so much to do.
Exactly, and really, when we first moved into that property back in 2000. There was nothing there. It was all vacant warehouses and buildings, and it wasn't a very attractive space. But now you look at Louisville Slugger Field, and you look at the area around us, we basically have an entire neighborhood that's been built up around us over the years. And this will just be a welcome addition, which will really finish it out. And like you said, just make it an attractive space for folks to populate and spend time in.
Right. Well, and people are always looking for things to do, and it looks like, and again, there's some great opportunities. And, when I was on my bike ride, I went right by the Louisville Bats area there, and, and people were outside eating, and it was such a nice eating area there. And that's another thing too, that ought to be highlighted is that, to go and eat there and sit outside. It's
against the Grain Microbrewery, which is part of our ballpark. And
yeah.
It's a very popular space both during and after the season's over. So again, they have a nice picnic area, a nice tabled area out front where you can sit there and have a nice brew and eat some really delicious food and watch people go by on Main Street.
Yeah, and then get back on your bike and ride.
There you go, burn off those calories.
Definitely see Louisville in a different light.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
No, it was a fun atmosphere and a lot of fun people. Let's go back a little bit, Greg, with the Louisville Bats. We know that it's the actual farm team for the for the Cincinnati Reds, which we're affiliate of that. How does that work on some of that? Do you like have as many games as they do, or how is that kind of the explain a little bit of the differences, I guess?
Sure. We are the farm team for the Cincinnati Reds, so we're the last stop through the Reds minor league system before a player would get to the major league level. We're basically partners with the Cincinnati Reds. They don't tell us how to run our business as far as, food and beverage, ticket sales, things like that. It's almost like a movie theater where we'll provide the seats, the food and beverage, the restrooms, the parking, and then they provide the film, which in this case is the players.
Oh,
so they control the players and the coming and going, which there is a lot of coming and going of players up and down. It seems like Interstate 71 between Louisville and Cincinnati. But, you'll never know. When you come to a Bats game, you might see a Cincinnati Reds player, particularly there that particular evening on an injury rehabilitation assignment, getting ready to go back to Cincinnati. And we'll possibly have that happening this coming week as Tyler Stevenson, the starting catcher for the Reds, looks like he's close to getting back to Cincinnati and playing for the Reds from an injury. And I would say there's a good chance he might play at some point this next week for the Louisville Bats for a few games at Louisville Slugger Field before he heads back. But again, we're just basically there to provide opportunity for the Reds to develop their talent. Folks will come to a game sometimes and see a pitcher get, beat up pretty good. At the start of a game, they'll wonder why he's not being taken out by the manager of the Bats, and that's probably because the Cincinnati Reds said, hey, this guy's going to throw 75 to 90 pitches tonight regardless of what happens. So it's all about player development, but we're very fortunate to have that player development take place in probably one of the most beautiful ballparks in America. And really, that was an exciting thing for me, and what I enjoyed so much about the Bananas visit last year in the Savannah Bananas game is about 70% of our crowd for those three sellouts were all from out of town who had never been to Louisville Slugger Field before. And they were amazed by the quality of the ballpark. They thought it was like a miniature major league ballpark. And I think we that live here sometimes take Slugger Field for granted because we see it and we drive by it so often. But when you hear people from other parts of the country that don't have the opportunity to be in our ballpark rave about it, it makes me feel good about what we're doing.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. I think that, and I think sometimes we do that. We take things for granted, or we know what it, and we don't realize, when new eyes see it and and they are, open to it and bragging about it. And then you're like, oh my goodness, it's true. It's right. Now, is this something though, which we love because, I do the caravan. And it's so cool to see some of the players that are on the caravan. Sometimes we'll be at the Bats games. And I know I hear a lot of people, they're like, we saw them at the Bats. And that's exciting too, to get to see them, there and to watch them and possibly watch them do, getting whatever they need to be, getting well again, getting fixed up.
Yep.
So, that's very exciting to watch that. I guess.
And you get to see guys like Ellie De La Cruz, who we were so blessed to have for about 6 weeks, along with Matt McLean and Kristen Encarnacion Strand and Andrew Abbott. They all came together, all came through Louisville at the same time, and then within 6 weeks, they were all gone to Cincinnati. But like you said, you just never know. When you go to a Bats game, you might see a future star of the Cincinnati Reds. And, Joey Votto came through and played for us. Jay Bruce. I mean, I could just go on and on. Todd Frazier. So you see all the future stars of the Cincinnati Reds playing right in front of you in a smaller venue at Louisville Slugger Field. Yeah.
It's cool to watch them like that, like in the beginning, their career, and see them move up and get better. I think that's what the fun part of it.
Yep. Or in this case, a lot of times, like I mentioned,
or injuries.
You'll see them on injury rehab, and we've had Joey Votto back through the years numerous times playing for the Bats on injury rehabilitation. And Joey, he was an interesting character. He was fun to be around. The last time he came and spent some serious time with us, which was about 3 weeks when he was rehabilitating his shoulder, he actually brought his personal chef along. We've actually fixed a lot of meals for our players in the clubhouse. So our players certainly enjoyed Joey's visit because they certainly ate well.
Not a bad deal at all. Yeah. your own personal chef. Well, and that's another thing too. These are athletes, and
Yeah.
athletes take care of
And
themselves.
that's how much the business has changed. I mean, this is my 41st year with the Louisville franchise. I go back to the mid-'80s with the Louisville Redbirds, and just to watch how baseball,
Mm-hmm.
the industry, and as a business has changed. I mean, we now have sleep nutritionists, we have sleep therapists. Every aspect of keeping a player well and finely tuned has been taken care of. Where back in the 80s, that didn't happen. It
No.
was basically they were on their own
Yeah.
to take care of themselves. Now they have members of the Cincinnati Red staff that are assigned to Louisville. They're there to make sure that these players are well taken care of. We have over 15 cameras that are positioned now in our ballparks, so the Cincinnati Red staff can watch not only our games from every angle, but also our pre-game batting practices and things. So there's so much analytical data and analysis going on in the sport now compared to when it used to be back in the 80s and 90s. And the industry, just like all sports, it's all changing. Technology's gotten so deep into everything that we do, and it's certainly a part of our everyday business.
Yeah. And what I love though, is I love the personal, as much as, every time they are, like you're talking about, even just warming up, there's going to be cameras on them. So they have to be on their game literally all the time. I mean, they're best of the best, but I love all that and all that pressure, but they manage to have enjoyable. It's enjoyable and the fun, and they don't forget their fans.
No, they don't. And that's the cool thing about minor league baseball. Minor league baseball is even almost more about entertainment
Mm-hmm.
than it is about the actual sport of baseball. I sometimes joke that baseball is like the third or fourth thing that we do at the Louisville Bats. It's more about making sure that the family has a good time, the ballpark's clean, the concessions are hot or cold, like they're supposed to be, and they're delicious. And everybody, like I mentioned at the beginning of the interview, walks away with a great memory of being together with their family or friends at a Louisville Bats game.
Right. Greg, let's talk food. What is it about, you cannot beat, when you go to a Louisville Bats game, a hot dog. What is it about sitting in the stadium is that USA all the way, right?
It is. And actually we brought back this year, folks asked to have the foot-long hot dog brought back. So we brought back the Slugger dog.
Oh,
Yes.
Now available at the ballpark, and you can top it with chili and all kinds of other toppings.
Yes.
So that's been brought back. I brought back this year the grilled pork chop, which we grill out on a grill right underneath the video board in left center field, along with grilled corn on the cob. So we have all kinds of other things besides the traditional ballpark fare that folks can enjoy. Tremendous ice cream from our friends at Philly's Best. And as I mentioned, lots of adult beverages that are available, whether it's wine, which we actually have a wine special and feature on Saturday nights, where you can get wine for $4 from our friends at Cupcake Wine, Cupcake Vineyard. On Friday nights, every Friday night, we have $3 12-ounce canned Miller and Coors Light, along with $6 margaritas on Friday night. That's from Number One Tequila. So there's a little bit of everything to really, tease and tempt your palate when you come to a Bats game.
I love that. And cookies? Do you still have the cookies?
The cookie lady is still there.
Oh, I love her. I'm so excited.
Zito cookies, yeah, she's still there. Walks around with a basket on her head, selling her cookies right out of the basket.
Oh,
so
like none other. Talent and great food, I'm telling you. You don't want to leave your seat, because you don't want to miss the cookie lady. And then after all that food, you can't leave your seat. You know what I mean? That's the way to keep people in their seats, is all that great food.
Yeah, and we've created something new this year. On Wednesdays, each and every Wednesday, Seniors Day. So for 55 and year old fans, it's half price tickets. But also we created a really cool feature. Of course, we have kids run the bases on Sunday.
Right.
But on Wednesdays, we actually let our seniors come down on the field, and we call it the Senior Stroll around the bases.
Wait, no way.
Our senior friends come down and take a lap around the bases, and to watch the smiles on their faces as they're walking, or some of them even try to jog around the bases, you can see they're going back to their childhood memories about being on a baseball field.
Oh.
So that's really cool. And our friends at Humana make that possible, and it's really one of the neat things we do each and every Wednesday at a Bats home game.
I love that. Well, I think, this is something, baseball, how many times, do you go back and you have those memories of going, somebody special, whether it was a grandparent, mom, dad, aunt, uncle, or cousin, or a friend that took you to a ball game, and going back and going back in that time in history, you know, watching the games as a child and then growing up and then bringing your own children to the ball field and that tradition. And that's something I feel like just is so emphasized here at the Louisville Bats.
It is. It's part of Americana. I mean, I grew up and went to the ballpark when we were actually an affiliate of the Boston Red Sox back with the Louisville Colonels. But I remember my first few years with the Redbirds. Obviously, we had those tremendous crowds, and I just try to bring as much of that experience with me into the Bats and to Slugger Field as I can. And it's all about family. It's all about getting together. It's all about celebrating our national pastime. So we try to carry that tradition as far as we can with what we do at Louisville Slugger Field each and every home game.
Well, I feel like going to the game is like, it's like you unplug, you know, put down the electronics.
That's what we want you to do. We want you to forget the real world for 2.5, 3 hours and just relax.
Yeah.
And baseball lends itself to that. It's more of a conversational type sport where you can sit with your friends, with your families while watching the game, but have a conversation. You go to a football game or a basketball game or a hockey game, you're more in tune with what's going on because the action is a little bit more fast-paced, where baseball is a little more relaxed. I will say the pace has picked up now that we've put the pitch clock in and some of these new rules that Major League Baseball has instituted. It certainly has shortened the game times. We're down to about 2 hours and 25 minutes now on the average game time, where a few years ago, before these rules were put in, we were well over 3 hours. So it's brought a crisp pace back to the ball game. But again, it's still a place where you can go and relax. And I do want to make mention that we have now created 2 rows of unbelievable seat and unbelievable seating experience. It's called our On Deck Club. We have put 2 rows of theater-style cushion seats right behind home plate. And actually, you can sit there and you're closer to the batter than a pitcher is.
Oh, wow.
You can hear all kinds of interesting conversations, but also it's an all-you-can-eat, all-you-can-drink space as far as we'll give you an all-you-can-eat buffet along with all-you-can-drink beer and wine. And you can also order, if you want, from your seat off of a QR code, concessions from the concession stands. And it's all for one price, and parking's even included. It's called the On Deck Club. And if you'd like to learn more about it, again, just go to our website at batsbaseball.com. But it's become very popular in the short period of time that we've had it available. A lot of folks are finding out about it. We only have 82 seats down there that are available in this space. So, again, if you want a really unique experience of watching a baseball game, but also filling your gut with lots of great food and beverage, then check into the On Deck Club at Louisville Slugger Field.
Well, I'm thinking, Mother's Day, I mean, this is a fun time for Mother's Day.
Oh, yeah.
Or, or like if you had.
We're going to have Mother's Day. We're going to have a Mother's Day brunch before the game out in the Humana Cabana for folks. So you'll go and want to check into that. So you can come to the ballpark a little early, bring the family, celebrate Mother's Day with Mom by having a nice brunch breakfast served out in right field. And then actually after the game on Mother's Day, we're going to let all the moms come down on the field with their families and play catch. And we'll even provide you with a soft baseball to play catch with, which you can then take home as a souvenir of the day.
I love this. Well, and I'm thinking that, and then also on where you're talking about those special seats and special treatment, that'd be so nice to give someone for their birthday or anniversary, or what a cool anniversary too,
Oh, yeah. And it's interesting. I've had some of the local celebrities already sit down there, such as Jeff Brom, head football coach at University of Louisville, who's loved it. Jerry Eves, former U of L basketball star. They all raved about it. Actually, Jerry Eves raved about the fact that he was down there having a conversation last year when Joey Votto was with us from these seats. Basically just talking to Joey while Joey was in the on-deck circle getting ready to go up to bat.
Did he say he was coaching Joey?
Yeah. So I tell you what, it's a great experience. You need to check it out, especially it's a one-of-a-kind experience. And again, you're going to hear some interesting conversation because you're so close to the field. You're going to hear the batter, the catcher, the chatter coming from both dugouts. If you're a baseball fan, it's really a fabulous way to experience the game.
Love that. Greg, let's real quick. You mentioned about some new rules. Is there any, when we go to the games, what are some of the new rules? Just to kind of give us a highlight so we know what to expect.
Sure. If you haven't been to a ball game in a few years, I guess a couple of the key rules, and these have now been tested out in the minor leagues, and actually most of these now saw their first light last year at the major league level. But the one that's had probably the most effect is the pitch clock, where the pitcher has basically 18 seconds between pitches to throw this next pitch. and that's just made the pace of play really pick up and be just the way I grew up remembering baseball being, and it's definitely shortened the game. The other one I really didn't think I would like, but I do like now, when we go into extra innings, because I've experienced so many games that go 17, 18 innings, and by that time you got your shortstop pitching, because you're trying not to burn out any more pitchers for the rest of the week. They've now taken the extra innings, and if you go to extra innings, the batter that made the last out in the ninth inning becomes the base runner on second base, and you start that inning, the 10th inning, with a runner already on second base, and it really increases the odds that the game is going to either end there in the 10th or the 11th inning. So that's really been a nice rule in addition, and they've also increased the size of the bases. The bases have gotten a little bit bigger, and that's been done to try to increase the opportunity for stolen bases and to get speed back in the game. And the shift has been taken away. And if you remember the last few years at the major league level, you might see a third baseman over in right field playing in shallow right field for a left-handed batter. So that shift has been taken away. The fielders have to actually be in their natural positions. So you can't have a shortstop be over on the second base side of the bag out in right field trying to take a base hit away from a left-handed hitter. So it's basically spread out the fielders in the field like they're supposed to be in their natural positions. And it's really helped the game a lot. So all these new rules, I'm not a big fan of them, but I thought when they were first coming in, because I'm such a traditionalist of the sport, but each and every one of them I've really grown to enjoy and see the advantage of having them as part of our game.
Right. Well, I think, just like every sport, they have to do a little tweaking and changing. And I guess it keeps the spectators, we keep on our toes so that we know what's going on. And of course, the players have to kind of remember things a little different, and do things a little different. But, sometimes they can work out wonderful, and sometimes they can be, it's either a kiss or a kick, right?
Exactly. And that's the one thing baseball in general has been doing the last few years, is thinking about fan safety. So if you haven't been to Slugger Field in several years, if you come out, you'll see that netting has now been extended almost down to each foul pole just before it. That way fans can sit in comfort and safety in their seats, not have to worry about a screaming foul ball coming up and possibly hitting a young child or catching them off guard.
Right. Well, it sounds like you got it all covered, Greg. And, from the bobblehead, like certain, you'll give out bobbleheads. You do you still do, like, is it $1 hot dog, $1 beer, dogs?
Well, the $1 beers, just like at groceries everywhere else, the price of food's gone up. So we still have a discounted hot dog on Thursday nights as part of our Thrifty Thursday promotion.
Love that.
We don't do $1 beer anymore because of cost of obviously brewing beer and everything, but we do have a $3 happy hour special on Friday nights as soon as gates open until the middle of the 8th inning for canned Miller Lite, Coors Light products, and again, the $6 margaritas. So we try to still be as affordable as possible. Our kids club that we have is a great opportunity for young fans of the team to get involved with the team, and actually gets them free admission for every Sunday home game, besides getting them a replica Bats jersey and some other really cool products. All that can be find information on that on our website at batsbaseball.com, and how a young child could join our kids club. So we have all kinds of interesting things. But you mentioned bobbleheads. We have a Denny Crum bobblehead, which we are going to pay tribute to Coach Crum on Friday night, May 9th. And there's a special ticket package the fans can buy, which when they buy that ticket package also gets them the Denny Crum bobblehead, which Denny's wife will be with us that night, along with members of the 1980 and 86 University of Louisville championship team. So that's going to be a special night. We'll have later this season, we're going to unveil a Hunter Green bobblehead. And right now it looks like Hunter Green might be one of the top pitchers in all of Major League Baseball. And Hunter pitched for the Louisville Bats a few years ago, so we're paying tribute to him. And then we'll round out the season with a Pat Kelly bobblehead. And Pat Kelly is the manager of the Louisville Bats, who last year became one of the 6 all-time runningest managers in all of minor league baseball history. So we've got 3 bobbleheads we're doing this year. So to find out more about them, again, just go to batsbaseball.com. Our promotional calendar's on there, which will have all the giveaways, all the theme nights that we have, such as Masters Night, where we pay tribute to the bourbon industry. I mentioned Star Wars Night. We've got a Bluey Night coming up. So for all the grandparents and moms and dads out there, your kids love Bluey. we've got a Bluey night where Bluey will be at the ballpark later in the summer, and your child can actually meet Bluey and have their photo taken with.
Who doesn't love Bluey? Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Now, Greg, also, I think we did touch it just a little bit, but also you've got a wonderful gift shop there. So if anybody wants to get like some T-shirts or maybe like a Bats jersey, they can do that. You can purchase.
Yep, that's correct. Our gift shop, our team stores, actually was renovated this off season and is now being run by Fanatics. So the quality of gear that's in our team store is fabulous. You're going to find all kinds of Under Armour and Nike products. Anything that you would ever want as far as Bats-related team gear is available in there. And besides being open during the games, our team store is also open Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. So if you're in downtown Louisville and you want to do a little shopping for Louisville Bats gear, you can certainly stop by the ballpark and do that.
I love that. Very good. Makes good gifts too. Yeah. Great.
Oh, yeah.
Now, if we're coming to the game, what can we bring into the ballpark and what's allowed and what's not allowed? Someone asked me about blankets. Do you allow things like that or like umbrellas?
We allow blankets. We allow you to bring in a sealed bottle of water that's not unopened. Okay. We are, over the next year, as Major League Baseball has done, we'll be going to a clear bag policy.
Okay. Not
this year, but in the 2026 season. But we actually already have Bats logoed clear bags available in our team store for the young ladies out there that want to go ahead and get a clear bag that they can bring to the ballpark with their normal items they'd have in their purse. We do not allow strollers. We do not allow any kinds of coolers in the ballpark. As we'll take care of all those needs as far as when you get in the ballpark, as far as food and drink and things of that nature. Parking is still readily available around the ballpark. We have parking lots in 3 of the 4 directions in our ballpark, so parking is very easy to do. And again, it's just a tremendous experience. Banana Baseball will be back this summer. They're coming June 26th through the 28th. And we're experiencing and hoping for 3 more sellouts, just like we did last year with them.
Yeah, a lot of fun for sure. A lot of good energy. Yes. And I'm thinking on the clear bags. Yeah. I think most games in every sport are going to that. I think that's something that makes sense, but we do need something to put our lipstick in, Greg. Okay.
Oh yeah. My wife does too. I know how you
and
are.
Hand lotion.
You ladies, you like to look pretty and I don't blame
that's
you,
right.
But we try to make it as easy for you as possible. And we have lots of clean restrooms inside the ballpark if you haven't been there. I'm a big advocate. You got to make sure, especially the women's restroom has to be clean, because if the young lady or if mom doesn't have a good experience in the restroom, the family will not be back. So we kind of adhere to the Disney policy. We try to make sure the ballpark is scrubbed and is clean each and every day. And if a young child might have a peanut allergy, which we're very aware of as part of our society, we try to make sure the ballpark is scrubbed and cleaned each and every day. And actually, later this summer, we'll actually have a peanut allergy awareness night where when the team is away, we'll actually scrub the ballpark 3 separate times to make sure there's no peanut dander anywhere in the ballpark, and we won't sell any peanut products that particular night, as we want those children that actually suffer from peanut allergies to feel comfortable when they come to the ballpark and have a great experience.
Greg, you've covered all the bases. That's beautiful. I love that. Thinking of that, because that is, and it's a real thing. Yeah. So that's very kind and very, very thoughtful for sure.
Well, it's just something, again, I've been in the sport for so long. It's just something, you come in contact with and you experience, and you put that on your checklist to make sure it's been taken care of. So I try, again, just to make sure that any kind of person out there in the community that wants to come and enjoy a Bats game has that opportunity.
Right. Well, 'tis the season and we're off to a great season. It's always a fun time, and encourage everyone to go to a Bats game. And again, can they buy tickets at the door? Do they need to buy them prior? And how can they do that before?
Well, obviously, over the course of time with technology, a lot of the ticketing has shifted to digital, but you can still walk up to the ballpark on a night and buy a ticket right there at the window. Most of our tickets now are digital, so you can actually purchase your tickets right now while you're sitting at home, and they'll digitally load right into your phone or your tablet, and then just bring it to the ballpark. We'll have scanners, and we scan you as you come through. I will tell folks that we do have metal detectors like all major sporting venues these days, at all our gates,
Right.
to make sure that your experience at our ballpark is a safe one. So just be prepared for that. But again, we certainly love walk-up fires.
Well, I think that, and we, as you know, we that's going to watch the game, appreciate that. We appreciate that one more layer of you know, of just
Security.
Yeah, I love that. And then we've not talked about Buddy Bat. Oh my goodness, you got to get your picture taken. Buddy Bat, love him.
Yes, Buddy Bat is synonymous with Bats baseball. Actually, I had mentioned the pickleball paddle that we're doing, and Buddy Bat is actually featured on the pickleball paddle. But he is obviously a mainstay of what we do. Probably the most popular mascot in Louisville.
Yeah.
I know Louis for the University of Louisville is quite popular, but Buddy Bat's been around a long time and brought a lot of smiles to a lot of kids. So we're very proud of Buddy Bat and what he means to our ball club.
Well, I brought him up here, and Buddy Bat came to one of my promotions, and Greg, he was just like, he was a moth to the flame. I'm telling you, I just had to just completely get out of the way because everybody was, I mean, all over Buddy Bat, and everybody wanted their photo. Buddy Bat, I would have to say is hands down the most popular. Yeah, I'm sorry, but he wins that every day.
Well, he's kind of like our Barney, or kind of like our Bluey, and he's very popular with young kids, and becomes a part of a young child's, growing up. Hopefully, he becomes a fabric of their childhood, and somebody that when that young child grows up and has their own kids, that they'll bring their children to the ballpark to experience Bats game and also see Buddy Bat.
All right. Well, Greg, you've worked hard to get this all for us and to do all this, and all we have to do is show up and take a seat and get our orders, our food, and enjoy a beautiful, relaxed afternoon. It takes me a little while when I first get there. I have to get takes me a little while to get the vibe, the calmer vibe, because we all live in that where we're going, so fast paced. Everybody does it. Everybody's a part of it. And then once you get there and you start realizing, we're going to bring this down and then you don't want to leave. It's so enjoyable.
Well, that's the cool thing. I'll be out the gates when people are leaving the ballpark, and it's funny. I'll ask them, "Did you have a great time?" And 9 times out of 10 said, "Oh yeah, we had an awesome time." And I'll go, "Who won?" And they go, "Gosh, I don't even know. Who did we play? I'm not sure who you played."
Who cares?
Great time. And it's just, again, we're an entertainment option. We're an entertainment venue. So this happens to play baseball. So it makes me feel good that so many people have such a great time, and that we can put a smile on so many people's faces.
Right. Well, Greg, we love working with you. You guys, it's an honor to be a part of the Louisville Bats, and we are so proud of you and everything that you represent. And we're going to be giving some lucky listeners throughout the summer some tickets, and we'll do some tickets giveaway. So this will be fun. And I know a lot of people they get pretty excited about those tickets. So we're going to send them to the ballpark courtesy of the Louisville Bats, and we appreciate that connection with us. And keep up the great work, and and we're just thrilled for the season and can't wait to get a home run all the time with you.
Well, thank you so much for having me on this morning. It's been a pleasure. Again, just like to listen to also have a great holiday weekend.
Yes.
And I hope all the listeners will come and see us.
Yes, Greg, and happy Easter to you and your family.
Thank you so much.
All right. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. That's Greg Galliette, and with the Louisville Bats. That was a home run, Holly.
That was a home run.
Yeah, fun.
And he's right about the childhood memories that you build. Because, I mean, some of my best memories are, of course, my dad and I started going when it was still the Louisville Redbirds, like out of the gates.
That's cool.
And best memories, them and the Reds. Those are the only baseball games I've really been to.
Mm-hmm. Well, are there any others?
No, there's not. Not in my book.
I think you're doing it. You're doing it right. Dad was right.
Dad was right.
Yeah, very good. So what was the one thing, I guess, that you remember the most? I mean, like, did you guys eat there? Did you just?
We ate there, and I just remember it being very low key, very relaxing, just kind of, it's different than any other sports game you go to, and the food. They bring around the popcorn, and I love them when they come out, they're selling that product, and just the Cracker Jacks.
Oh, absolutely.
The Cracker Jacks.
Yeah.
And the hot dogs.
Yeah.
But it was just very relaxing and enjoyable family time. And, you're not running around doing this. You just sit back and relax and chill and eat some good food and enjoy the park.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And just for some reason, like the food just tastes, I don't know, the hot dog just is so much better.
It's
It's
at a
just
level.
it does.
It
It's
really
just like
does.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just something about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
A lot of fun. Yeah.
Great
So,
memories, though.
yeah. I love that you share that. And that's such a cool, that's so cool, the memories on that. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Great.
Very good memories with my dad.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so we're going to be giving away Louisville Bats tickets as the summer keeps going. So check out for that, and you can check out my website, my Facebook, and of course we'll be on the radio talking about some giveaways. So fun time, tis the season.
Tis the season. That's right.
And I think with the spring sports, it's always hard spring sports with the weather. You never know. Like one moment you're in a winter coat, the next moment you're like. I'm having trouble with my shoes because I don't want to wear closed-toed shoes. Closed-toed shoes. So I'm saying that right? Closed-toed shoes. Yeah. I want to just and this weather's making me close them up because it's too cold.
Yeah. Well, and
right?
sometimes depending on where you're sitting, the sun will just come in and start blaring at you.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my goodness gracious.
Yeah. I've actually done some really good tanning at baseball games. So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you wear your shorts and it's getting on your legs, you know what I mean? Tanning can be really good.
It really can.
I keep thinking, I'm watching the game, I'm also tanning here a little bit, getting some tan, getting some.
Take that sunscreen with you.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Or like have some hats or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah. So
the big brim hats.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Definitely.
Except it might be blocking somebody.
I was going to say, it might be, yeah.
I like the idea of those seats that he has now where you can.
The cushion.
The cushion, and you can order off this QR code, and you don't even have to leave your seat.
What about the cabana? Come on. Right? You know what I mean?
But the other part I like about it is being able to hear.
Oh, yeah.
All the stuff going on down there.
Spill the tea.
That's right. That's right. I want to hear it all.
Yeah.
I want to hear it all.
And, like sometimes, baseball players, like any athlete, might have like something that they, like they do, you know what I mean? Like, or something they say, how like they have their like little things they do, like have to do it every game. It'd be interesting if somebody like says something before they bat every time or something.
Right.
Wouldn't that be funny?
That would be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would probably mess with people. I'd probably, no, I would, you know what I mean?
I never had any luck catching the balls though. And that was like one of the, as a little kid, you see all the kids with their mitts, right? Because they want to catch one of those balls that come into the stands. I never got that.
It's like we need to go to a game and let you catch one of those. Yeah, you need to catch one.
Yeah,
of course, with the nets, that makes it a little more degree of difficulty, but it's also safety.
I'm kind of excited about Wednesday nights. How about running around the bases?
Yeah. Your dad would be so happy.
I fit in that category.
Look at that. No, you go. Yeah, I'll be
Wednesday night senior
cheering you on.
Yeah.
And your dad, that would be so cool.
That would be cool.
Yeah, you need to do that. Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, things to do, fun times. Yeah. To go back, blast from the past.
Right.
Yeah. I love it. Yeah. Well, and I love that they've made the kids area a little bit, bigger, even more so, so that, because, it is sometimes it's good for, you have the, you have a little bit sometimes where they don't want to sit,
Well, it gets to be too much. If you look at 2 or 3 hours, it gets to be too much for a little one sitting in the same place. They need diversity.
Well, and get some of that energy, I mean,
get the energy out.
Yeah. I know our group has a lot of energy.
Yes.
There's a lot of energy going on. Sometimes that energy, needs to be moved around a little bit there. Yeah. So
move that energy.
Definitely. All right. Holly, so that's exciting. So Louisville Bats, full swing, full throttle, onward ho they go. I want to say this morning, starting at was it 5:30 this morning, the cross across the county kicked off and full swing. And you talk about giving you chills, and I just want to remind everybody to watch for them, on the road. And I think it's cool. Like, I'm thinking what's fun, not only for our community and for people that live, that can come outside and watch it, but also I'm thinking of others that cut through, Salem or cut through this area, and they see this, or, or the county, anywhere through the county, the Campbellsburg area, everywhere. They see this, they're driving, and maybe like a truck driver who's been on the road for a long time, maybe, and they sees that, and what a great reminder of 'tis the season, and I think sometimes we forget that it's Good Friday, and there's some that have the day off, like our county and our city offices are closed. We'll remind everybody, and there's some banks, and there's some, so before you really go do a whole lot, check to make sure that is open. And like trash, the dump is closed, and so you just got to remember, that, but then you also have the, what is it for, the reason that it's for, the reminder. So yeah. So anyway, so I hats off to them and putting that all together, and
that's
you don't,
a big task.
it is. And you can actually at any given time join them. You know what I mean? At any given time you can join them. And if you can't like walk very long, they have like vans, buses, and of course our police are leading it. And I love every bit of it for protection. So
absolutely love it.
So
I was reading a story on the cross the other day, and I either didn't remember or maybe I just never knew the story of the dogwood tree.
Yes.
So I remembered that the dogwood represents Christ with the blood on the petals. But what I didn't know was that they said the cross was made out of the dogwood, and that that's why the dogwood isn't tall and straight anymore, because he said they'll never be able to build one out of it again. And so they're shorter and, different. And also the center of the dogwood, I didn't realize represented the crown. Center. So I thought that was, like I said, I either didn't remember it or didn't know it to begin with, but I probably just forgot it.
Well, and this today kicks off over in Orleans, the Dogwood Festival.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah. And all of the dogwoods, I said, it's funny because, they have the festival around the same time, but you got to cue the dogwoods. We need the dogwoods to be, somebody cue the trees. You can't do that. You know what I mean? They got to do their own thing, but he said they're getting ready to open up, and they're beautiful. And like all through Orleans and did you hear the story? If you go back and listen, it's a beautiful story, because this is their Dogwood Festival. It goes 9 days, kicks off today with yard sales and all kinds of activities. And then they'll do the Queen contest tonight. And the dogwoods are like bloomed.
They're beautiful.
They're gorgeous. And then he told the story of the dogwood, and I'd heard it. I love to hear it. I don't care how many times I hear it. I love to hear it. And just like you talking about it right then, I just love to, and whether it be true or not, I love it. And it's one of those things that you kind of just can see.
Right.
It makes sense.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
it makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love the dogwood and just what it represents.
Me too. Yeah. Beautiful. And definitely, with the budding and stuff, and the winter we've had, everybody's chomping to get at that,
springtime.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah. So what a beautiful day and a beautiful time for the Dogwood Festival. Don't forget, it goes on this, it'll be tonight and tomorrow. Then they're going to take Easter off for Easter. Everybody enjoy their families. And then they'll be back on Monday, and they'll have carnival rides. They've got food. They got all kinds of activities. Like they got special free music every night. So
nice.
Fun time. And it's kind of fun to go to Orleans if you've not been there in a while. So yeah, they've got like lemon shake-ups and all the food.
Oh
yeah.
Goodness.
Holly, I knew that would,
fair time.
Well, this is pre-fair, right? Pre-fair.
Right. But it's like starts of all the festivals and fairs and all the good, yummy food and drinks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yummy.
And you got only a window of opportunity to get all that
in,
got to get all that in. Yeah. Christy mentioned, be patient for the folks that are walking the cross. Yeah. Thank you, Christy, for that. Yeah. And for the people in cars and stuff, just be be safe and, and
Be respectful.
they do allow them to go around, but make sure that it's a safe time and
Mhm.
they'll let you know when to go and, when to,
Right.
And the police have got that all in, they've got it down to a science.
Oh, I'm sure. They've
Yeah.
been doing this a long time.
Yeah. And,
Mhm.
everybody volunteers, everybody wants to be a part of it,
Mhm.
so it goes really well. So if you want to be a part, you still have time to jump in. And if you cannot walk it, you can ride in the van. They've got,
Mhm.
different vans and buses. So
Wonderful.
yeah, great time. So all right, then of course, then tonight or today, Good Friday, and then don't forget, then Saturday, then Sunday's Easter Sunday. So hopefully everyone will have a beautiful Easter.
Yay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's a little bit later this year.
Mhm.
And I think that people have really hit the candy, don't you think? The candy hard. Yeah.
I really haven't hit the candy hard this year.
Have you not?
I went more because my daughter's a diabetic.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
actually, we're all. So I didn't hit the candy hot and heavy. Her her goodie basket is made with non-edibles primarily, and just one little chocolate bunny for the top.
Got to have the chocolate bunnies,
have the
right?
chocolate
Gotta have
bunny.
the chocolate bunny.
And it's dark chocolate because that's her favorite.
Ah, that's.
yeah.
I think that's somewhat healthy, right?
Mhm.
And that,
Mhm.
or at least
We're
we
gonna
say
call
that.
it healthy.
That's right,
That's
right.
right. We're
And
gonna call it healthy.
actually, this is kind of cool that majority of people, when you get the chocolate bunny, and watch everybody with their chocolate bunnies, they bite the ears
The
first.
ears first.
Yeah, ears
Mhm.
always first.
Always.
And I think that's something that we all do, right?
Mhm. Absolutely. Ears
And-
got to go first.
Absolutely. I'm one of those too. Yeah. And they make, it was so funny. I'll tell a blast from the past. I found a chocolate bunny that was actually a mint chocolate bunny. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. And it was funny. I got it for Greg and I thought, okay, this is cool. And it's funny because everybody ate it and it was I think he got one bite.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so it was funny. I thought I'm going to get a bunch of these. I don't know if it was just because it was so different, you know what I mean? But yeah, so it was funny. His mint chocolate
It sounds good
bunny,
though.
yeah, it went pretty fast. So
My other daughter, her favorite was always the cookies and cream bunnies.
oh yeah. Yeah.
Because she loved like the Oreos and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So that was always her favorite.
I don't think there's anything I don't like on that. You know what I mean?
Mm-mm.
And they used to be more solid. Now you get hollow.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
But I prefer hollow.
Oh.
I do.
Oh.
I've always preferred the hollow versus the solid bunnies. Isn't that something?
Yeah, that is something because it's because that's what it is.
Unless it's like a Reese's filled bunny.
Yeah. Now you're talking. Well, here we go. A new survey. They always do surveys. And they found that Peeps aren't the favorite. Do you like Peeps?
Oh, I love Peeps.
Do you really?
I love Peeps.
I love that. I love to decorate with them. I don't, I think they look really cool decorating, but I'm not opposed to them, but it's not my grab.
Have you tried them on a s'more?
I know I'd love them that. Yeah. Well, the number one, what do you think the number one Easter candy is?
Jelly beans.
That's a good one, but no. Reese's peanut butter eggs.
Well, that's number one in our family.
That's gotta
should have
be.
said that one.
The ratio of how they do it, the chocolate to the peanut butter. I mean, that now you talk about science.
Because a Reese's cup, I like Reese's cups too, but the chocolate around the edge, it gets to be too much for me. It's too much. But you get the Reese's eggs or the pumpkins or the whatever, and the ratio is perfect.
Yeah. They're just like a little thin layer there.
Yeah, thin layer chocolate's all I want. I'm after that peanut butter.
So Reese's is number one. This is this year. So like they change from year to year, which is the most. Number two, chocolate Easter bunnies. Okay. All right. And I prefer, which we would work out well because we wouldn't be going for the same bunny. I like the solid. Yeah, the chocolate. Yeah, you're
chocolate bunny.
The chocolate bunny. Number three, Cadbury cream eggs.
I've never been a fan of the
See, I like them. And it's really funny because there's a lot of people that don't. And growing up, it was funny because a lot of people would say, do you want it? Yeah, I do. But I eat it really weird. I break it open and because it's like
candy weird.
I know. I eat my candy weird. So I really try not to eat that in front of people because
But I think it's the reason I don't like it is I feel like the consistency is similar to like a regular oh, what are those chocolate covered cherries? And I like my chocolate covered cherries to be the clear liquid and not like the kind of white.
yeah, it's real rich. That white is just too much. Yeah.
And I think that's it. I think the Cadbury eggs and the regular chocolate covered cherries are too rich for me.
I can see that.
Mhm.
I can get with you on that. Yeah, it is very rich.
Yes.
Very rich.
Very
yeah.
rich.
That's why you have a wonderful cup of coffee to help hit that richness a little bit. Number 4, jelly beans. I'm with you. I thought jelly beans, and I think in years past they have been higher up, but this year they are 4th down the row. Jelly beans are going down.
And I love the different brands and flavors of the jelly beans.
Yeah.
You know, you can either get traditional, the big traditional jelly beans, or you can get the Starburst, or you can get the sweet tarts, or I love the different varieties that they have of jelly beans now.
Have you ever had the popcorn?
Yes. The jelly belly, the jelly
Yes.
belly pop. Yes.
That popcorn is just like that's some good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's really good. Yeah. And I like the red ones. What are they? Are they like a cherry or strawberry? What are these? Cherry, aren't they?
Well, I think it depends on what brand, because there's some that just sells the all red jelly beans.
Mhm.
And so there's cherry and strawberry, and I thought there was a third flavor in the red jelly bean bag, but I can't remember what flavor it is.
Number 5, robin eggs.
They're
Okay, so they're just they're
Whopper
themed. They're like
type?
Whopper. Okay, there you go.
Yes.
See, I didn't. They're the Whopper robin eggs.
Then I'll agree with that because I love
But
malted milk balls.
I've not seen any. I've not seen any this year. I don't know where
I've not looked this year, so I don't
well,
know.
maybe I haven't looked either, but I'm just thinking. But like usually, like I don't have to look. Like usually, it's like in your face,
Right. Mm-hmm.
right there.
But again, I like the malted milk robin's eggs, but I don't want like the all chocolate robin's eggs.
Yeah, these are the Whopper Easter eggs, robin eggs.
I like the bubblegum robin's eggs too, though.
The bubblegum robin eggs.
Mm-hmm.
Yum.
Because
Yeah.
I love bubblegum. So,
Well, yeah.
you know.
Gotta love some bubblegum.
Yeah.
Right. I think the thing that I'm at with the robin eggs, I think they look. I've got them before. I've just not seen them this year. I don't know why, but I think they look really pretty in a basket.
Yes.
You know, they just make the basket that they pop.
They pop it.
Yeah, they do. And I always am about that presentation. I like the presentation.
Mm-hmm.
Peeps. Sorry, can't say it. Peeps ranked 6th with ranked 6th with a 7% of the vote.
Huh.
But it says 1 in 14 people still love them. So
Mhm.
Peeps actually were number 6.
Well, they sure have a lot of them, and they've changed. Now I don't like the different variety of flavors they have anymore. I'm a traditional. Don't matter really if it's bunny or chicks, but I like. I don't want like the Dr. Pepper flavor, and I don't want all those flavors. I want my traditional.
They do have the
Peeps.
different flavors. Yeah.
Peeps,
Yeah.
Regular.
But what's funny is, okay, like I try to get the right ratio because I never know to get the bunnies or are they ducks or chickens? Chickens.
the little chick peeps.
Okay. I either get so I always try to get the same ratio. If I get 2 boxes of the bunnies, then I got to get 2 boxes of the chicks.
Mm-hmm.
I never know which to get.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's torn between 2 lovers.
Now, something I would like to see them do one day is individually wrap them.
Yes.
Because, you know, when you open a package of them, if
Absolutely.
you don't eat like all of them in one sitting, they're going to get stale.
And they do. Well, and then when you put them in a basket, okay, so like let's say you get a 12-pack of Peeps, those chickens or bunnies, whichever. And like I would always like put like maybe 2 in each because I had 6 daughters. So, you know, and as soon as you put them in there, they dry out.
Yes. They need to be individually packaged. Maybe we could write a representative
in this suggestion box.
Yes.
Then they'd have to raise the price a little, you know, they have to pay for that plastic wrap.
True. But they wouldn't get stale.
No,
if
that's
they get
true.
Stale, you're throwing them away anyway.
That's right. Right. Yeah.
So
yeah. Unless you put them in between 2 graham crackers and chocolate, you know.
True. True.
Then who cares, right? Melted, and who cares what it's going to be like? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, it's a lot of fun. So if you're doing the Easter candy, I know Walmart has got you covered over there. They also have and I did see this, and I have bought this before. It's the grass that you can eat. It's edible grass. And like I've done like my desserts like if I get a cake, I'll put the cake on top of that
Mhm.
so that if anybody wants to eat the grass, they can eat that.
I just think the Easter colors, Easter baskets, they're so pretty.
Mhm.
And there's such a variety of baskets you can use anymore,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Well, I think that the thing about the only thing about the edible grass, make sure that you don't get it confused with the real grass.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And they have all different colors of grass. Do you have a preference on what color of grass?
No, it just depends on what like the theme is. But this year, the basket that I did, because I didn't want to buy a traditional Easter basket. I wanted something that my daughter could reuse.
Absolutely.
So she needed a small trash can for her room.
Beautiful.
So I'm using that as the
Mhm.
vessel, and I filled it up.
Love that. I've seen it done where people, like if their child, like they've got new shoes, like tennis shoes or something, where they've taken the tennis shoes and made little Easter baskets, stuck the
Yes.
stuff in the tennis
Yes.
shoes. I thought that, because that's being practical,
Yeah.
so yeah.
Yeah.
Because what are you going to do with all these baskets
What do you do with the
afterwards?
baskets?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Unless you save them from year to year. If you're that organized, that's great.
Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah. I can't be that person. That is me, that maybe someday that'd be a goal, but that's just not me.
No.
The most common Easter basket items are chocolate bunnies, eggs, which eggs will be a little bit tight this year because of the price of them,
I'm
right?
coloring eggs tomorrow, though.
No, you go,
I'm
girl.
coloring eggs.
You get it, girl. Jelly beans and Peeps. We consume around 90 million chocolate bunnies for Easter each year, 16 billion jelly beans, and 1.5 billion Peeps.
That's a lot.
That is, yep. All right, that is all the time. We do have a little food for thought there. You can share that with the fam at Easter. But Holly, it's always fun hanging out with you. And of course, I want you and your family, your beautiful family, to have a beautiful Easter.
I love our Fridays together.
I do too. I
them.
look forward to Friday.
Me too.
Friday.
Friday days.
Yes. And it is Good Friday. So remember, across the county, watch out for them. Just be careful if you have to go around and be safe. So let's thank our sponsors.
We'd like to thank Meadowview Healthcare, Walmart, Salem Crossing, Americans for Prosperity, Mama Roses, Fox Pearly Wealth Management, Dr. Black's Eye Associates, Dr. Mindy Gunn, Marshall Monuments, McAllister Lane Consulting, First Harrison Bank, Louisville Bats, Schneck Hospital, and Springs Valley Bank and Trust. Thanks to all of our great sponsors.
Always remember, Holly, some bunny loves you.
Oh, love that.